Hello, I'm Rachel and today I'm going to show you how to make removable Christmas window stickers. For this you'll need some PVA glue or school glue, some washing up liquid, a paintbrush that you don't mind getting some glue on, and some acrylic paints. So I've mixed a good squeeze of PVA glue in with a large drop of fairy washing up liquid, mixed it in a pot, and now I'm just decanting some smaller portions of that into some lids so that I can add my acrylic paint to it to add the colour. The glue mix on its own dries completely clear, so you do need to add colour to it to get any sort of colour in the stickers. So now I'm just going to add some small blobs of acrylic paint to each pot. For this red I'm using cadmium red, you can use whatever colour you want. I've just picked out 4 colours that I felt would make some nice Christmas stickers, but you can use whatever colours you want for this. You only need a little bit of paint and just mix it really well in there with the glue and washing up liquid mix. I've also just got a little bit of warm soapy water so I can clean my brush in between uses. I'm also just going to mix up a little bit of black in this tub, and then using what's left over of the glue and washing up liquid mixture, I'm going to pop some white in there, and I'm going to use that as white because it's important to remember the glue and washing up liquid mixture will dry clear, so you do need to put some white in there if you want a white one. So I've got an old sheet of glass from an old picture frame. You can see there I've painted a little circle of glue already. That's just ready to paint a design on top of. I'm just testing out different ways of doing it. So I've got a sheet of glass and that's from an old picture frame, just giving it a wipe down to make sure it's clean, and then I'm going to paint my designs on top of it. What I'm going to paint is, on this little tester piece, I'm just going to see how a snowflake looks on top of it. And I've painted a disc down because I've previously done a snowflake without a backing and it was just a little bit flimsy, so I thought I'd try it on top of a circle of clear base as well, just to see how that turned out. So I'm laying down quite a thick layer of white paint. It does need to be fairly thick, otherwise it's a bit too thin and stretchy, so I'm just going to do a little snowflake. Next I'm going to paint some light bulbs, like the old-fashioned Christmas tree lights you get, the big sort of candle flame shaped ones. I'm going to paint out 4 different colours and then I'm going to stick them around the edge of a window so that it looks like a little string of lights around the edge of the window. Using some black, I'm just going to use the end of the bulb. I'm not going to paint the wires on, they'll be too flimsy, but just by painting the ends on you get the idea that this is a string of lights. Now I'm using glass to paint this on. You can use a plastic sleeve or a bit of plastic that you've got lying around. I'm just using this sheet of glass because I have it lying around. You could paint these directly onto a window and you'll be able to peel them off, no problem. I have just gone over each one with a second layer as well, just to make sure that it's nice and thick, otherwise they're a bit too flimsy. They do take a little while to dry, but once they're dry you'll be able to peel them off the glass, no problem, and stick them back on again. So I'm just going to stick these around the edge of the window on my front door, and just to make it look like there's a couple of Christmas lights stuck around the edge. You can see the snowflake I did earlier is there. It was just a little bit, it looks fine, but it's just a little bit flimsy. I also painted a little Christmas tree and the second snowflake that you saw, and I'm just going to stick those onto the window too. And you can see they look nice from inside, and I'll show you what they look like from outside too. So there you can see all the stickers stuck to the window, completely reusable and removable. Have a lovely Christmas. Thanks for watching.